Yeah. Again, highlighting what Abha ma'am said on that podcast, she said something like, once a situation like a rape and or murder happens, you'll see a lot of people blaming the government, and then you'll see their naysayers saying, hey, what does the government have to do with this? But she said that the government should actually be held accountable, because the actual problems, even if you just highlight this case, lie with the system, lie with the bureaucrats in charge of the hospital. The kind of timings that the hospital operates on, the restroom situation, the washroom situation, the security situation, just how these interns and resident doctors in hospitals are managed. It's a very high stress environment. You'll always hear your friends. I don't know, do you have friends who are also medical professionals?
Yes, of course.
The unfortunate truth is, bro, you're running a successful business. I'm running a successful business. They're still studying.
Mm-hmm.
What is up with this long-term studying aspect of a doctor's life? I mean, this might be a slightly amateurish statement, but is there any way we can like shorten the length of study for a medical career so that they can start their private practice early? I don't know. Is this just...
It's a great question, right? And I think today, when, as I mentioned, right, it takes roughly 14-15 years to have a thriving practice in medicine. And yes, you're right. So is it longer? But I'll tell you, in the West, it's even longer than India, right? But before that, I'll just tell you, before I answer that question, right? Today, when an IIT bags a 1 crore salary, the whole country is rejoicing them. Oh, they got a 1 crore salary in Google, at some tech company, at some startup. But boss, when a doctor charges 700 rupees in an OPD and spends 5 minutes to tell you the diagnosis, like, bhai, 5 minutes के लिए उन्होंने 700 रुपया ले लिया? ये कैसे fair है? Boss, then we are not being fair to our individuals. They have not taken 5 minutes to give you a diagnosis. They spend 15 years to study to give you the diagnosis. It is their experience. And more often than not, we are not giving them the chance to give them the right diagnosis, right? One more thing I'll tell you. There are enough laws with regard to the number of hours a pilot can fly, the number of hours of sleep they require to fly a plane. Is there any law that tells you that a doctor should sleep these many hours or work these many hours? Let's not forget, these doctors are spending 36 hours in a hospital and more often than not conducting surgery with such limited sleep. These are life and death situations. So when you talk about laws, I think there are many laws around this. Finally, the Central Protection Act. This was an act which was brought in the government, the parliament, in 2022. It was shunned for whatever reason, the political reasons are. But I, as a citizen of this country, demand for this law to come back. Today, already 25 states have some law that if you attack a doctor, you will be prosecuted. But not one individual has been prosecuted till date. You're talking about Kolkata. Last week in Sion, there was a doctor that was attacked. A drunken individual at the OPD attacked a doctor. This is a case of a daily occurrence. If we do not have a law and we do not enforce this law, how can we expect our doctors to feel safe? Imagine 50% of doctors fear violence by the Indian Medical Association. How can they do the most difficult surgery and provide the best care if they are fearful? Many often, if I was a doctor, I would probably say that maybe I shouldn't do this surgery because maybe I'll get attacked after that. We're creating the wrong incentives, the wrong environments for the best care. Eventually, it's citizens like us who will suffer.